Film scoring success starts in your mind. To all my composers out there who are nervous to share their work with the world or who feel like an imposter when calling yourself a film composer, this one's for you. I'm just like you. I get it. I understand being self-conscious when it comes to putting out your work or even sharing your original compositions with your colleagues or music friends. So I've made a video listing 5 things I did to overcome my fears and actually start becoming the film composer that I've always wanted to be. For over 10 years, I kept my compositions to myself. And it took me a really long time to get into film scoring. What was in my way, you ask? Myself. Hi, I'm Erica. I'm a film composer, and today I want to address what's preventing you from succeeding in your career and ways you can overcome it. Let's talk about what's holding you back. Lately, I've been coming across a lot of social media content about professional singers, composers, or filmmakers sharing their unique journeys. But what's really interesting about all of their journeys is how they compare their now to how they started. They kept their passions and skills a secret because, well, many reasons. My compositions suck. Who would want to listen to that? That guy's music is way better than mine. This film looks really professional. I want to reach out and write for it, but I know I can't compete with the professional composers the director is already talking to. I didn't go to school for film scoring. Why would anyone want to hire me? Do any of these sound familiar? I feel like a lot of you are like this. You already are what you want to become, but you're hella doubting yourself and your skills. You're letting imposter syndrome get the better of you. I know a lot of you are creatives looking for opportunities to elevate your skills and grow your career, but I'm here to tell you that you won't be able to do it because you're holding yourself back. I'm here to tell you that the only way to get over this hurdle is to be comfortable with putting you and your work out there, regardless of all the negatives, which are all in your head, by the way. I've been there. I never told anyone I was a film composer until recent years because I had so many film composer friends in my circle who have these fancy backgrounds attending conservatories, winning composing competitions, starting early, and holding degrees in screen scoring. I hella compared myself to the point that I felt like I didn't belong in the conversation. I had nothing valuable to add to the conversation. I couldn't compete, all the negative things. But when I did finally start calling myself a composer and telling people I score films, I had imposter syndrome. I've been battling myself for over 10 years, but if I could get over it, you can too. So stop holding yourself back and apply these 5 mindset shifts and dive right into film scoring and finally be the composer that you already are. And these can apply to any field or role in the film and television, entertainment industry, by the way. They're all transferable skills. Start calling yourself a composer and believe in the skills that you already have. I embodied fake it till you make it and kicked imposter syndrome to the curb. It was an adjustment, but I just started finally calling myself a composer. I took every opportunity to tell everybody that I was one when asked what I do, and it really helped when I attended various mixers and networking events. And what also really helped was when people further asked what work I've done or how I started out. But hearing myself rattle on about the music I've written and the projects I've worked on really helped solidify in my brain that I actually am a composer. Can't be an imposter when you've already done the deed. Stop waiting for the opportunities and make your own. Before I found out about the QTube, I made my own opportunities to write film music by copying other composers' work. I remember being so inspired by Desplat's The Shape of Water that I used his piece as a template to get going. I listened to patterns and copied the structure. But then I ran into a problem. I realized that I was still thinking with classical music rules and harmony that it was difficult to progress my piece because film music just changes on a dime because the picture demands it. And it was really hard to wrap my brain around that for a while. I was self-conscious that I thought whomever listened to my work, they'd tell me I was doing it wrong because I had an incorrect harmonic structure or chord progression. It wasn't until I attended a screen scoring intensive that I had my work reviewed by the people who wrote music to our favorite movies. And you know what? Their critiques mentioned nothing about chord progressions or harmony. Instead, they told me to make the music stand out however you see fit so the visual can pop. No mention of music theory anywhere. Everything that we write as film composers is first and foremost to serve the picture. Take music classes and fill skill gaps. After writing a few pieces based on existing work and trying my hand at creating original compositions to pitch to short films, I felt that the next step was to take classes in screen scoring. Even though I have a classical music background, what I really needed was screen scoring mentorship and education. I am kind of a self-taught film composer. I spent the last few years seeking every tutorial on YouTube, LinkedIn Learning, and even bought a course from Jonas Friedman that I found really helpful. You can have a classical music background and years of study, but what you need is to learn how to write to picture. I desperately needed this. So I took every opportunity to scour the internet of what classes and schools are out there that I qualify for. 1 year ago, I was scrolling on Instagram and saw an advertisement on Instagram that IO Music Academy in Hollywood Hollywood was offering 10 scholarships to take their music producer program. Free classes! And luckily, I was one of the scholarship recipients. So that really truly helped kickstart my music production skills and my brain to give me the push I needed to get the ball rolling on production and working efficiently on my DAW. I thank them for that. Second, I found another scholarship opportunity to study screen scoring with the CSU Summer Arts Program. 2 weeks of intense screen scoring learning, mentorship from the masters who brought you Ghostbusters, Animaniacs, Lawman Bass Reeves, and more. So even though I don't hold a bachelor's or a master's in screen scoring, I found my own educational opportunities that helped kickstart my film composing career. Always look for ways to get better at your craft and grow your skill sets. Quit thinking you're not good enough and apply to gigs anyway. When I landed my first films to write for, I had no screen scoring credit, and yet I still reached out to directors offering my services as a film composer. Despite not having a professional reel or a portfolio, I got the gigs anyway because I believed in myself. And you know what? To my surprise, I did the thing. I contributed my music to my first films with pride and learned so much from just finally doing the thing. There's only so much YouTube can teach you. My first screen scoring project even got a lot of praise for my score. Something I didn't think I would get the attention that it did. Check out my video on how to find gigs using social media. I tell you exactly how I find all these awesome projects that lead me to more opportunities. So don't sleep on social media, but more importantly, don't sleep on yourself. Believe and do the thing. Number 5, stop comparing yourself to other composers. This one is probably the hardest to unlearn. As I've said in my previous videos, you should follow other composers on social media to learn from them, collaborate, and support each other. However, I'd be lying if I said I didn't get envious when I see a colleague work on a recording session or work on something really cool with my idols. But when I catch myself having these thoughts, I snap back to reality and appreciate where I am now and all that I've accomplished thus far. Erica from over 10 years ago would be so proud of Erica in the now because it took so many hurdles to get here. You can't compare your step 1 to someone else's step 10, as they say. I'm a believer that you're not behind, because we all have our own unique timeline that's so personal. It's easy to feel bad when you see a 15-year-old composer already making sick mock-ups in Logic when you're 36 and still getting the hang of film composing. I'm not 36, by the way. But what that 15-year-old doesn't have is the Swiss Army knife of experience that you already have from years of working odd jobs in multiple fields and attending a variety of institutions for different practices. You're both amazing and where you should be. You're already doing great things and right on time. So remember, this video isn't just a pep talk, it's a mindset reset. Because before you can thrive in film scoring or any creative career, you have to get your head in the right place. Every opportunity starts with belief in your skills, your story, and the fact that the industry needs your voice. Someone out there is waiting to hear your music, but they'll never hear it if you keep it hidden. I made this video for the composer that I used to be, the one who stayed silent, afraid, and uncertain. But if I could move past that version of myself, you definitely can too. So take these 5 mindset shifts and let them be your launchpad. Start showing up for yourself because you are the key to your success. If this resonated with you, leave a comment. Share this with a fellow composer who needs the encouragement, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss part 2. Part 2 is where I'll give you actionable steps to keep building your momentum and landing your first or next composing gig. You're already on the right path. Now keep going. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.